I just started seeing it look like it's like doing the scheduler thing. Um, I'm gonna wait till we get viewers. There's I guess a couple things I want to try with this video. Um, One is somewhat like my usual, but not really, and the other one, well, I imagine if somebody, especially with a title like this one has, sees the title, they'll think, "Oh, there's a couple questions there. Maybe I should answer them." Especially if they see that this hasn't been rolling very long, or they're the only one here. I believe the indicators show either way. I have too low energy. It's too busy in the neighborhood today. I have too low energy. It's nice out, but I think it's quite cold. There's a part of me that wanted to go out, but I'm also very kind of tail and what's the end goal? Kind of the what's the result I hope to get? Kind of money driven. Yeah. I'm just remembering I do have a couple chores to finish up. One I'm very close to being done, and the other one I don't know because I want to put stuff away too. So 55, but it doesn't seem to be charging. I don't know why it's not charging. It's just being finicky. My device. Well, I can charge it upstairs too, and it's 55%, so it's not bad. That's bizarre though. Okay, now it is. But now that it is, and it dropped one, I kind of want to put this over there, and so I don't have to hold it, basically, while I do this. So, it's just every now and then it's a bit finicky, that's all there is to it. Yeah, so I don't know which method I want to try first, and depending on if somebody comes in as I'm saying this, that might kind of tell us which method. um, because it's a lot louder than I thought it was going to be, but it's normal, usual. But because there's a part of me that, like I say, wants to just let people see the title. Why verbalize it? Use my energy. I mean, they know the title of the video they clicked. Like I say, they know all those other the other two kind of stats most likely, so they can say. I don't necessarily have to ask. I do have one or two other topics on my mind, but also it's interesting. One kind of it almost looked like two in the previous video that I don't think it posted. Or was that the one before that? I think this is the third one I've done today. Um, no, I think it did. I looked at it up on the cell phone. It showed that it was upcoming for some reason, but it seems to depend what device you look at. It doesn't even show on the tablet, and it's probably posted normally on the laptop. But I had mentioned something about how if somebody is wanting to comment and I'm blabbering, some people will be better than others, and part of me thinks it's not that hard, but I'm just one of the ones that's kind of fairly good at it. But some people will be better than others, listening and writing and thinking all at the same time. I mean, in a way, I feel like it's a basic skill that we all have to need, but I understand some people have different challenges or just, yeah, aren't as good at it. It's, everybody's unique. So, but it's interesting when I kind of was mentioning that I was going to kind of stop and give them a few moments to work on comments. I think one stayed. They'd both been there for a few minutes. One stayed, and I started to think, oh, they're actually going to do that. And I don't even know what I said, but it decided like 2 or 3 minutes later to say something. Also, people type at different speeds. It looks like I got a like, which is really weird because it doesn't indicate a viewer, but thank you. Maybe it's just a delay. And basically, yeah, they left, unless it was just so quick, because it could be, but whatever. Hey, it was good. And they left, and I thought, was it because I started to say something? Because I promised I wouldn't. But it's something I'll work on. I just thought I saw something flying. I did something funny there. But yeah, so there are some curious questions, that I kind of wonder about most people that come to see the videos. Have they seen them before? And just as I was about to ask that, the person left. Um, that's the main one. And, like I said, feedback. I talked a little bit about in this morning's video kind of what I personally, you know, roughly am looking for in the terms of feedback and that. I also wanted to talk. Well, I'll wait maybe, but it's on this device, but I can do it on the other one too, I suppose. Got a weird spam thing, like possibly the weirdest I've ever personally gotten. But this is where it gets sad. This is where it's one of my answers as to how I'm doing. And it's already got the sides, and I have only heard it talking on the radio. So as we get to viewers, so there may have been little jingles. Which reminds me, I have one about coffee if you'd like to hear it. But I thought maybe it was adding those sides where you kind of see a little bit of the rest of the image, but it's darker because it was picking up a song on the radio. But anyway, point of the matter being is that I don't know. I can't remember what I was saying now. Talk about feedback in the other video where I kind of mentioned kind of what I personally am looking for in that area. As far as like about the content. I forget the other thought. Oh well. I wish I could remember it, but maybe I did say it. But yeah, there is a strong part of me with how I titled this video that is telling myself that when the viewer comes in, I don't need to say anything. I would hope that they would. It's a. Sorry, it just doesn't isn't coming out very well. It's kind of a hard ball. I would hope that they're coming into it because they see the title and want to answer it. Like this one especially, specifically, I get that feeling. And so part of me thinks again back to the I should just shut up and let them answer it and then talk. And beforehand, before anyone's here, it's probably being mid-sentence. That may not be anything, but I don't know. I don't really feel like I have a lot to say. I've said it in the other podcasts today or this week for them. I don't know. I do what I don't. Like I say, oh, right. I was going to say, that's right. That's what I was going to say. So, I got this thing in my email from a name I didn't recognize. And I feel like I or Glenn have gotten one recently where it's like this attachment and there's a preview. And I was able to see what it said. And it said, dear or hello, and my first name at least. It'd be creepy if it knew my last name because my email doesn't say it. I mean, we may have used McAfee at one point, but I wouldn't know how they would know. But, and it said something about something going to my, or, I wish I could remember the wording without going to a different device to look, but, Something going to my bank. I'll stop talking in a moment and let you answer the title to the question. Here at the moment. But something going to my bank. And here is the sad thing. And I don't know, I guess, other than sad, how it would come across in the view, whatever. And what I'm, other than honesty, maybe there's other things I hope for in sharing this. I'm just noticing his rope goes like completely stretched from almost the power bar to the drum there. Anywho, but basically, we're a one income house right now. I've been struggling undeservingly, I feel like, but it's been hard, and I know some of the reasons why. Some of them I don't know, or it just doesn't seem to make sense, or whatever. Oh, interesting. Okay, I think he just came online and just came into that message. Speaking about things that don't seem to make sense or whatever, I watched a couple of YouTube videos. I think I mentioned it in the other one about people saying, "No, don't tell your family and friends or whatever about your lives." And the reason that I can remember that it stood out as to why they were saying that is it can affect the algorithms. And part of me thought, yeah, so what? I mean, these are the people that know you best, but they did say something about, there's also acquaintances who maybe don't, who may or may not have certain kind of expectations or whatever. But I do and don't. I am and I'm not big about algorithms, or I don't know. And as far as views, I mean, I'm more about engagement. But yeah, I just got a message. So you can see what the title says, and you're welcome to put a comment. I'm just going to quickly read this message that I got in Messenger. Hopefully you're not going to hear too much clicking. I don't have the clicking sound on, but I'll be done this in a moment. I think your viewer just went, but not sure. I deleted the paper trail, the 4 or 5 garbage paper trail because I just wasn't sure, but what vibe I was getting after all. But started off good, and it's fine. There's one thing I want to say. We are almost 14 minutes in and nobody's watching at the moment. I don't know if I should say it or not, but part of me wants to, and some people will see it and not know. But it depends, because there was one that was also showing some visuals, and it would have made sense to be able to see those. And I don't have those kind of video skills at the moment, like, unless I'm like for talk videos anyway. But had the idea, since this YouTube transcripts these days, of having one open somebody else's and just doing a little sample of it and seeing the response that it gets when it's somebody else's, just out of pure curiosity. The other idea that just came to mind, and I've had this idea before, but I guess in the moment I either get too anxious, or I'm like, oh, I don't know if I get the vibe that they want to be approached or whatever it is, and this and that, or that some days the weather's a bit iffy, and I think Glenn thought that it was more of a thing for young people. I don't know. But there's a channel out there called Thoraya. I think it's just her name, Marisay or something like that. And she goes and approaches people, asking them random questions. And I just got the idea where I could do that. In fact, I'm kind of doing it now. And like, look up what one of her questions is, title my YouTube video doing that, and see who comes and answers it. And again, what's your opinion? Not that there's anybody watching at the moment, but what's your opinion on like having a YouTube YouTube video that has a question in the title, when somebody comes in, asking it out loud, or just thinking, yeah, they know the question, so I'll just sit here and wait for them to answer it. See if they do. How would you go about that? Because I'm sure that some people have done it. I've maybe not seen it a lot, but I'm sure some people have done it. I mean, it's different when you physically go up to someone as opposed to via YouTube a little bit, even though she's doing it on YouTube too. But so, I mean, I kind of talked a little bit about something like that in one of my other videos. But, uh, but if people think the question's interesting enough, and she did, as we had two and they came and went, like, as soon as they got here. Weird. Anywho, but, like, they were, it was asking, how are you doing really? And I mean, keyword really. I mean, like, never know what kind of answer you're going to get. But I'm curious. And I think I could handle most of them and like being able to help and support people. And I think that that's a positive thing, I know it is. And I just need to be able to do it more. But, so it's kind of like, yeah, not just this kind of vague how you doing or how are you, but how are you doing really? I can't remember. Wonder if I could look here. And that question actually is kind of similar, I would say. I don't understand. I just got to say something for a moment, vent about something. When I ask if somebody is related to somebody, sometimes it's a female that I'm asking. So, yeah, I mean, if they are married, it would be their married name. And they say, I don't know, like this one says it's actually my married name. Or the one that actually I might be related to, but she married into it and I just discovered her. She says, I don't know, that's my partner's family. Or she says, or some, no, maybe she didn't say she didn't know, but, and it's like, well, but they're still yours then too. I mean, unless it's that kind of family that's just not very close. And I know that those exist. I kind of have one. You know what I mean? So, but then wouldn't it make more sense to say that? I'm sorry, I'm not really close with that side of the family, as opposed to sounding a little bit dumb as far as I'm concerned. As far as like, um, like they're not really. It almost seems like barely knowing me or whatever. It almost seems like they're not willing to kind of get into it, talk about it. But yeah, how are you doing today is a similar question I could say to what are you struggling with today? And I feel in a lot of ways we're more alike than we are different as people. So there's no real shame in saying I don't feel. And I might just be able to help you, you know? Of course, how are you doing today is not necessarily the same question as that. Why do I keep seeing this? Well, because I watched it once and now it's, yeah. Well, it's only 2 minutes long. I think I've heard of that Most Dangerous Chair. It's kind of like, I just wanted to check something about this video, the title, because I only remembered part of it. But, you could be doing really great. And then you're not answering with, here's what I'm struggling with. Either way, good, bad, neutral. I'd love to hear. And, I'm not forcing you out. I'm not trying to single you out. Although, no need to be shy. No judgment. And the viewer goes. I was being very good about this. I thought about bringing it. I've still been doing it. It's too busy out. Huh. Okay, there we go. I was almost doing that thing where I was pressing to see the screen to show comment. Pretty sure that there wasn't any, but there's the little thing from YouTube that it says, and it's being particular. I think I have to bring the menu up first. Oh, that version typed with many. The word many, like I meant to. It seems like it's got 3 upcoming versions, but that's the one where I had to try 3 times. But it doesn't show any of them as having been posted, and it's been at least 2 hours. How are you doing today? Question mark. What can we help with? I really want to know. Whoa, I really want to know, baby. Yeah, I really want to know. You can describe. Da, 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 oh. Haven't heard that in ages. Is that actually? Yeah, that's Santeria. Whatever that means is in a place. I don't practice Santeria. Ain't got no crystal ball. Had $100, but I spent it all. I don't sing a cappella very often. La da da dee dee da, la da da dee dee da, da 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 da. I hope that's a record, not a gun. I almost want to do some music while I'm waiting for comments to come in. And then whether because of the music or otherwise people say, great. But I know I looked at those 2 music books fairly thoroughly in that video the other day. A lot of what I think is there's classical, some are kind of triggers. I'm not sure if I'm feeling that energy to do it. Kind of want to stay at the couch too, but I don't know where it's kind of the time of day where there's going to be a lot of sun, and kind of is a lot of sun coming through the window. And if I sit over there, it might kind of be glaring. But I kind of want to do it. Dog's being so relaxed while I do this. The other day when I was doing it here, I had success at this location, so I just didn't want lotion, which may be on the tablet, to get on the music here. Did he get at the very top of the pile the other day? I almost feel like it, yeah. Hello, welcome. Yeah, if the sun's too bright or the background is too distracting, I can move. I was just going to live your left. That wasn't, all I said was a light hi. I wasn't even otherwise specifically speaking to them. And yeah, they don't get it. I don't get it. Well, that's actually a good mentality perhaps to develop. A lot of the ones with the type of music I play, aka not classical, I'm not seeing near the piano at the moment. It's the weirdest thing. Might go look upstairs. Except for possibly this one. But if I'm going upstairs, I'm tempted to grab the how's that dog hair get behind this take a hold of the dog. Oh, by the coat here. He doesn't even ever lay there. Tempted to get the guitar then. making sure that there's nothing that the dog can get into because he has sat up. You're going to be good, eh, Sonny? I'll be right back down. Momentarily. Good little boy, hey, Sonny? You're a good boy. Why do you have your head down? Your head down? Are you licking fur off the couch? You're funny. You're funny. Hmm? I guess he's just groggy. He looked a little bit sick or something, but he's been fine. But he has had a couple of treats today, so I guess I gotta put that away later. Get a couple more things out of there, and then I'll deal with that. Because I don't want him chewing on the rug, so it's gotta be on top. But yeah, that light came pretty quickly. That's happened a couple times recently where it's like a light comes in quickly, then the person's off and running, and then there's nothing much for a while. Just a little brush of that was making a sound. Quite resonant too. My favorite sketch. What is that? Oh, okay, right.
Are you a man in your 20s but don't know how to dress? Still got loads of entrenched...
Okay, I'm glad I stopped that at that point. Because, I'm going to close it because that's stereotyping demographics. Possibly a couple of different ones that are somewhat opposite each other. And it just sounded stupid. Yeah, well, you know what? I do have to go to the... I know I just got into this room. But I do have to go into the other room briefly. And like I said, the title has the question. So I think I'll let it speak for itself. Be right back. Okay, I'll pull that shelf off. Put them off. Well, I think I'll make you nice. Cool. Hopefully, if anybody does answer it, though, they actually want to talk about it, not just vent about it and leave. Well, at this rate, I'm possibly going to keep this... Oh, it isn't at 30 yet, but it's a couple minutes away from. At this rate... She says active an hour ago. I'm really thinking of keeping this under an hour, but then, like I say, it is at 30 minutes, and half an hour can go very quickly. So even an hour can, but I'm also someone who feels like time drags. You can either drag or fly, dragonfly, as I sometimes joke. It's been a while since I've said that, actually. Like it can... Even a small amount of time can go very slowly when you've been kind of stuck and in a rut and such and such. Sometimes there's long spurts of no wind. I'm trying to think of what the longest has been, because it's been at least close to 10 now, I would say. I don't know. Also, I hope that this never offends anybody if they think it looks like hunting wear, because I know that some people, kind of myself included, are not big fans of hunting. Some would, I was going to say the sport, and some would call it that. Whether I would or not, I don't know. But that's not a topic we have to get into. I don't mean to be making anybody uncomfortable if they feel that that says a certain thing, because it just says it keeps my neck and my shoulders warm, but my arms, optionally, so I don't get overly warm. Even though he seemed pretty low energy, he might have perked up a bit. I kind of want to keep doing this up here just because oh, isn't that interesting? That's not the name. It was definitely Sally, because I thought, ride, Sally, ride. I don't know who does that song or what it's called, but there's the last name Riding open on this tab at the moment. Well, I think I closed one, so. I was actually thinking to make a comment that isn't what you may think on that, but maybe you'll get it from this. Any Americans that see this would especially find that perhaps uncomfortable. Kind of like I do with the lack of viewerships at the moment. Sometimes you don't get very much the first time. This is also quite watery. Or somebody come in and say, "Oh, I decided to comment this since you're not wearing that thing. I don't like the pattern," or whatever. Well, I could try and find out. I aim to please, and I kind of understand a little bit too. At the same time, I guess I'm used to it, There is a part of me that wants to keep this a bit on the shorter side, and if it's an hour, it's not that much shorter than the other ones. But there's a part of me that's curious to keep rolling and see what happens, to see who comments what. Been quiet for almost 15 minutes now. Like, I know there's people out there that are sitting on YouTube, but again, there's lots on YouTube, and I know that some of them are struggling and, really happy, might want to talk about it. And I'm a little bit of both, but I don't feel like doing it if nobody's going to watch. Just looking at something else on the screen at the moment. There's not much to see on the YouTube one. Watch me come back to like 5 comments from 5 different people. Watch that actually happen. That'd be funny. Be the most psychic I've ever been, that's for sure. Fine, showing it online. Divine online. I don't think we need to send anything else to her. We'll send the payment, whether we actually connect with her or not. Who knows? We probably won't be there very long. Don't want to have too much dialogue and get into an awkward thing. This has been a long time with nobody viewing. I don't know if they can tell if my mouth is moving or not, especially if the audio is caught up to itself. Not that I think there's much of a delay or anything, but well, maybe I'm meditating. A lot of people, even if they struggle to or rarely find the time to, probably feel like meditation could be helpful for them and that they want to try it. And maybe a lot of them, feel like this would be the year where they get into some sort of routine with that. And that's another thing I could kind of do fairly regularly on here, perhaps, if people are interested. But they're gonna be like, nobody commented how they were doing today, although that's just the way life works. But and yet he still wrote for. I guess he's talking about how he's doing. I could, but I've done that a little bit in other videos, and until I have someone to engage with, I'd rather not. Just people, I guess, are distracted with other things right now. So, there is the title of the video asks a question or two, or in a way it's kind of the same question. And I said that because somebody was here but they left. I mean, it's true, if somebody, they don't already know you, they may fear judgment. They may think, why should I tell you? They may or may not have other people to talk to, but you should tell me because I'd like to help and may be able to. For the most part, I'm not very judgy, and sometimes the more people that kind of are either involved in something or that we ask about something, it can make it easier or harder. It's true. Now I feel like I have it set up for the sessions, so we're doing. But it's I don't know. I think in every video today I play them, except for maybe the one. You know what? And this would be hard for me if I worked at the mind. If we were getting some and it was fairly active, I wouldn't mind the in between. But if I worked at such a helpline, it would be kind of like the quiet points would just yeah. But so yeah. I guess it's true that sometimes it may be different people coming in, and my way of speaking or acknowledging some may appreciate. It's true, but like they say, the one video I was sure that there was a lot more than 3 or 4 viewers that I had noticed throughout. But I don't know how accurate it is because but or but it only said there was that many. So I guess I figured, I guess they just came in more than once. Didn't say anything any other time. Just kidding. Well, a couple of the recent ones have had a bit of engagement, but I'm not sure because it said the average. There's two different things and they sound the same to me. Average viewing duration and then one in the next row. However, I don't know why the settings differ depending on what device, or just things differ in general depending on what device. I don't know if that mirror is distracting, but it looks like it's on top of my head, I know. And that's the kind of thing that distracts people sometimes, right? But the mirror's distracting me. Would I rather have a mandala or a mirror on top of my head? You know what I mean? If I do it far enough back, then it's not right on top. But, can't remember what I was saying now. Oh, and I clicked like the arrow going that way on my browser, but then I clicked back and it doubled the duration time, and like after I'd already finished the live. So that made me think, well, then that's not accurate. So it's just a weird glitch, but. Yeah, so did I say I don't have a bank account yet because I don't have an income. And we're managing on one, but it's very hard. And so I don't think I need to worry about that spam email I got because what account are they sending it to? The only way I kind of have it is for a mutual fund, which I can't access for another couple of years because of my age. I mean, 40 is a good age, but when you're not that and you need it now, it's kind of like, yeah. I want to watch some stuff as well soon, but this is going to have to charge. I don't know what I want to do. Because my previous video, or at least the one I tried to post, said, there's so many options of things to watch on YouTube and so many great ones, and I hope that people will think that this is one of them. But then it's like, how do you decide? How do you, how do you not get overwhelmed by them? Whether you're looking up something specific or not, you go to one thing or you open up like YouTube, and in the process of looking up what you want to look up, anybody with ADHD that's adjustable or whatever is going to see other things, and then, So as much as I get ADHD, I do and don't get the thing with the corner viewers when they don't take very long. Like I mean, like that is that like the newest generation's version or what? I'm not sure. I couldn't imagine saying that I was born in 2000 something. I mean, that's just. But lots of people can honestly say that they are, were the two of the three. So, I guess the thing is I don't know whether our viewers see the same stats along the top as I do. That's what I don't know. And if they don't, I want to let them know. Like, you're the only one here. Make it worth it. Both of us. But somebody who was briefly here left a couple minutes ago, so. I'm like I say, I'm flip-flopping, or I'm unsure whether I should try and make this just be 40-something minutes, a little short of an hour. It's so easy to make them longer when there is people engaging, especially if you're engaging with them in the live chat. You have to read them, then you respond to them. So there's got to be, it's pretty common that there's some very long videos out there. So, but and I don't think that should necessarily deter someone from being interested in at least watching some of it or watching it in segments or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. Part of me is saying this isn't really worth it. Someone comes in, and part of me says maybe it will be. So I genuinely care how, unless you don't, and that's kind of like, well, again, unless there's, understandable reasons. If it's just that you're playing head games or whatever, it's like, screw off, like you don't come back, kind of thing, Pardon my French. And actually, I did see a video today that they were saying, oh, you can use colorful language, as long as it's not too much, or it might affect something, this and that. But, that you'd still be able to post and that. But that's the first time I saw one of these in ages. But if I ever have, that is. You're getting glimmers, aside from this frustration of the above, as to how I'm doing today and some of the things on my mind, that's for sure, and we can talk about them. I guess it is true when I think about it for a moment. And I kind of said it earlier too. Like, the question that I posted is something that a lot of people in their day to day lives get asked. And when they're asked it, although I would think if it was on YouTube, you'd think that maybe it was actually somebody who, I mean, some people, well, because people care about strangers, thankfully, a lot of the time. But, you know, you can think if somebody's going to the effort of asking on YouTube, like they want to know and they want to talk about it and maybe support you. But a lot of people, they just do it as small talk, right? So. That's an idea. That's an idea. But like I say, meditation is very popular these days. Not only just making little jokes about when it happens, but like, even though it is annoying, like I say, but like, but I don't want people to make regrets or whatever. I'm wondering if the dog's behaving though. I hope this charges. I'll have to go downstairs and try charging it and holding it and seeing if it does. Start shopping this soon. I guess for Sunday. Hopefully Saturday's weather will be better than expected, but we're going to be busing, so it's okay. Give me some purpose, you know, not that anybody's watching at the moment, but and allow me to help you out because I need it and maybe you need the support, you know. So and I'm not going to specify one way or another whether I do or not, but some people won't care, you know, some people might, but honestly, lived experience is so powerful. And just being caring and empathetic is so powerful. You don't have to have a degree. But a lot of people kind of get possibly turned off by people kind of boasting their accolades and their letters after their name and this and that. I know I have at times. So I genuinely am asking and I genuinely care how you're doing today. And trying to find a non-music station for the background. I do understand. Some people might, some people wouldn't though. This is the thing. Some people would be like, and I mean, I'm not a stranger to myself, but unless people I've seen before, I'm a stranger to them. They might say, why would I tell a stranger on the internet? But I saw a comment that somebody posted on something else that said, you know, some of the nicest support they've gotten have been from strangers on the internet. You know, like, a good person is a good person. You know? So. It's worth a try as far as I'm concerned. You know, we all going through stuff, some people more than others, and a lot of us go through similar stuff at different points in our lives. Sometimes similar points, sometimes different points. You know, we're all unique. But, so some people have been where some people haven't been, or where some people are struggling and have gotten past it. And those same people may feel like they have struggles that they're struggling. You know, I don't know. I mean, some people struggle less, I would say, than others. But or the song that I have heard on the radio a few times recently, and I do and don't like it. But we all got dirt. Ain't nobody perfect. Living on this green earth. We all got dirt. Da, 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 da. Something like that. So he's being so good in the hood. And it is 3 o'clock. Can I charge this at the same time? Good little Sunny, hey? You're so good, hey? You're very good in the hood. And on the couch, sometimes. And on the chair. And in... Yeah. Anywho. Shoo-be-doo. Seen 15 minutes ago. I mean, it was great that that guy replied to me. I'm going to hope he meant to send a thumbs up. As somebody that's kind of a new contact to me on Facebook, he has liked some of my comments to his pictures in a group, a post he posted to a group, and just in general. But he's not said a lot in messages. He did say, yes, they're coming through. Sorry, I've been very busy. Hope you're doing well. I was pretty sure they were, because it didn't appear to me that they weren't. But I know Messenger can be wonky, and he wasn't saying much, but he was seeing them. So thanks for the message and update. I'm posting to YouTube right now. Hope you find some relaxation soon. I wish also to help if and how I can. And no reaction to that. Some people are very independent or whatever. I don't know. I think it's a little weird, though. No reaction. I mean, how I can, meaning because we're not local to each other. And if, because I don't know. Hopefully in some ways I might be able to. And, making an income is important to me, but sometimes you gotta do the freebies too. But I didn't say anything about that. Well, he went offline, but I'm going to hope that he meant to thumbs up. But, works at a restaurant, Margaritaville something. Resting away again in Margaritaville. Bit of a trigger song, but da-da-da, my lost shaker of soul. Maybe I'll just show Sunny for a bit, and then I think you can see him amongst the clothes and stuff on the chair. Maybe not at his best, though. That's something I could do while I'm waiting for activity. And I might wrap this up soon, but I have to make space on my device, although we have to charge the camera and make sure that there's... I mean, I'm only probably going to be there an hour or two, but want to get a money's worth. But I have to charge yeah. I want to use the camera because, even though some photographers, like professional photographers, use their cell phones these days, and like at weddings or whatever, there's always people taking pictures and stuff. But, and the view was there for a minute or two. But I do want to use it some because I feel like it steps up my game, even though I can take just fine photos on here. Whether I want to bring a tripod, first of all, we have to be able to find it. We have one or two of them. Second of all, I don't know. I think that my hand is usually steady enough. And then we get some pictures too. Speaking of hands, here's an interesting picture that some people may or may not recognize. Sometimes this thing pops up on my phone. I showed this one to Glenn the other day. Yeah, that. Or it just closes and goes back to the files, but it's been Samsung Air lately too, but then it's mostly operating fine, so I don't know. I should just get rid of these two things about the oak table. I thought of George and this and that, but it's too far. Okay, well, I don't know, it might take a lot more than just that to oh, there's a lens thing. But that's within the photo app. But that's a good way to try and make space. As long as this does post. Well, so I guess I shouldn't delete them until I'm sure. And I'd have to remember, which, title I'll probably remember in near the end. And I just want to share some of my photos on here now while I'm waiting. And maybe get a phone call. Sometimes it still does the Christmas tune, but I don't know how to change it back. It's kind of on whim that I got it there to begin with. Hello? Oh, okay. Alright, bye. Oh, she might have been someone that's here before. Okay, well, that's an idea for the photos later. We have a small home-based business that is kind of niche and this and that. And but there's somebody that's going to be here apparently very shortly to look at things. School's just let out recently nearby in the area. Oh, they're here now actually. So